What really makes for a good life? It's a question that's followed us through the ages, hasn't it? But what if the answer isn't some big, complex secret? What if it's actually a handful of powerful, simple truths we've kind of lost sight of? Today, we're going to go on a journey to find them again. I mean, just think about it. How do we measure success right now? We see it in trophies, right? The number in a bank account, or getting that nod of approval from everyone around us. But are those the real measures of a life well lived? Or are they just pulling our attention away from something way, way deeper? You know, what's wild is that ancient wisdom pretty much called this. It's like they're saying our modern compass is broken. We're chasing power and wealth and status, all while completely underestimating what actually matters. We're playing a game with rules that don't lead to happiness. So what are these false standards that have us so hooked? Well, it all starts with what you might call the game of appearances. This is the world of the perfect social media feed, right? The curated image, the life that looks flawless from the outside. But as we're about to see, building a life on appearances, well, it's like building a house on sand. Look at this stuff, the fancy car, the designer clothes, the champagne. These are the things we're told spells success. But the ancient thinkers, they warned us about these exact things. Not because they're bad in themselves, but because they're all external. They depend on what other people think, on luck, and honestly, they can all disappear in a flash. And right here is where things get flipped on their head. This is such a radical idea. True wealth isn't about having more, it's about wanting less. It's a total shift from frantically chasing things to finding a quiet sense of contentment inside. But what happens when that chase for external stuff hits a wall? Because they always do, right? Eventually, the walls come tumbling down. If you build your life on what other people think, you are gonna face failure. You're gonna face loss. It's inevitable. And that is the moment of truth. That's when the game of appearances just stops. And in that moment, right when things feel like they're falling apart, we can actually find something incredibly freeing. Success? It's not the end of the story. And failure? It's definitely not fatal. They're just moments, you know? Points on a much longer journey. The only thing that really, truly matters is finding the courage to just keep going. And this leads to an even more powerful idea. Our greatest glory, our real strength, isn't found in a life where you never mess up. No way. It's forged in the fire of adversity. It's in the act of getting back up every single time we fall. Every stumble becomes a chance to build resilience, to come back even stronger. But where do you get that kind of strength? Okay, so this is the real turning point of our whole journey. It's the discovery that true power doesn't come from that external world we've been so busy chasing. It's found within, inside a fortress that can never, ever be broken, the unconquerable mind. And here it is, the secret to unlocking that fortress. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Think about how much energy we waste trying to control things we just can't, what people think of us, the twists and turns of fate. But the one thing you always have control over is your own perception. Once you really get that, you'll find a strength you never even knew you had. So this is all about becoming the architect of your own inner world. This inner strength isn't about changing what's happening to you, it's about changing how you see it. It's the power to build a happy life not from what you own, but from your own perspective. And this makes it so practical. Take something like anxiety. We often talk about it like it's this external thing that attacks us, but what if it's something we create inside our own minds? This quote just reframes that whole struggle. If anxiety comes from our perceptions, then we have the power to just let it go. The goal isn't to find a safe place out there in the world, it's to become the safe place. All right, so we've discovered this incredible power inside of us. That's great, but how do you actually use it? How do we turn this cool philosophical idea into something real, something we do every day? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It's all about practice. Excellence, as it turns out, is a habit. So the path to getting there really boils down to 3 big steps. First, know thyself. You have to understand your own patterns, your triggers, what you really value. Second, master your mind. This is the daily work of choosing how you respond instead of just reacting. And finally, act with purpose. This just means making sure your actions every day line up with your deepest principles. And this right here might be the most important piece of the whole puzzle. A good life isn't built in one big moment of victory. It's forged in the small, consistent choices we make, day in and day out. We literally are what we do over and over again. So excellence, it's not some grand act. It's a habit. So think about where we've been. We've journeyed from the false promises of the outside world all the way to the unshakable foundation of our inner self. We've learned that tough times are actually opportunities, and that excellence is something you practice. So what then is the final measure of a life well lived?
I mean, what a perfect way to think about it. We don't judge a story by how many pages it has, right? We judge it by its meaning, its characters, the impact it had. Our lives are exactly the same. The ultimate measure isn't how long we're here, but the quality of that time. It's not about how long you live, it's about how well you live.
And so this whole journey ends right where it has to begin, with you. This ancient wisdom, it isn't just something to think about. It's a challenge. It's a call to action, to look at your own life, to question your own standards, and to really take command of your own mind. So the most important question is the one you have to ask yourself now. How will you begin?